I can recall my first mission I flew. They came in and they really hit the bombers on that one. And I can remember Major Campbell saying, "Oh, I think we're in for a dogfight today because these guys are not breaking off."
This man spent 23 years in uniform, served as a combat pilot with over 30 missions, and changed history forever as a member of the legendary Tuskegee Airmen. Today, I will be telling you the story of an African American World War II veteran, Harold Brown. Born on August 19, 1924, Harold Brown grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, describing himself as nothing but a snotty-nosed kid who developed a passion for flying in the 6th grade. However, it wasn't always this way, as Harold's mother initially wanted him to be a pianist. Harold didn't know why he wanted to become a pilot, but recalls that one day he just woke up and decided he wanted to be a pilot. So he stopped practicing piano, told his mom, and his mom thought he had lost his mind. Harold knew his dream may never come to fruition because the military simply didn't train black pilots. But this didn't stop him from reading everything he could find about pilots, building replicas of all the airplane models he discovered, and watching movies such as The Dawn Patrol, which intensified his interest for aviation. Once Harold was 16 years old, he had saved up $35 by working as a soda jerk and wanted to take flying lessons. Once Mr. Brown graduated high school at just 17 years old, he decided to apply to the military to become a pilot at the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. Filled with excitement after passing the physical and academic exams, Harold headed down to Alabama. Although Harold had faced previous discrimination in his hometown, at his time in Tuskegee, Alabama, Harold faced harsher segregation and even Jim Crow laws while he was off base, which deeply upset him. He recalls, "I lived in an integrated society while I was on the base, and it wasn't until I left the base that it was back to the old ways again." Even in the Tuskegee Institute, the military trainers had to meet quotas and often washed off qualified black candidates. Regardless, Harold Brown successfully passed through advanced training and graduated in the May of 1944. He was immediately deployed overseas in the late August of the same year to join the 332nd Fighter Group, attached to the 15th Air Force. The 15th Air Force had lost hundreds of planes and needed fresh pilots like Brown to protect bombers. On Harold's 30th mission, Harold and his 99th Fighter Squadron were sent on a mission to strafe and destroy German supply trains on the Austrian border.
The last thing they expected were fighters. And there were locomotives all over the place, and the guys were screaming, "Look what we got." And there was just this chatter, guys, "Boy, I got this one. Do you see I got this one? Hey, I just blew up." Oh, just chatter, chatter, chatter. Damn it, they missed one. Look at that great, big, beautiful one they missed. Let's go get them. So I went in on them. And I had that locomotive lit up like a Christmas tree. And just as I pull up to go over it, that's when it explodes. This big explosion, I got caught in it. And all of a sudden, the oil pressure started acting up. The oil temperature starts going up high, and the engine quits. I rolled it over, kicked the nose up, jettison the canopy, and it throws you out.
After Harold landed, a couple of soldiers on skis put a rifle on Harold and marched him to a nearby town which had suffered collateral damage due to the 99th strafing mission. Harold was met with an angry mob and recalls, "I couldn't run, I couldn't hide, I thought I was going to die." As one of the mob put a hand on Harold's shoulder to kill him, one of the constables put a rifle to the mob's head and convinced the mob not to kill Harold. As a POW, Harold was moved from one camp to another, facing harsh interrogation and starvation. But as the Allies moved in, Harold was eventually freed and able to return home. Harold was now part of the famous Tuskegee Airmen, which became one of the most revered fighting groups, with outstanding bomber protection and defense.
He did that regularly. And they said, "Who are these guys flying these damn red tails?" He said, "Man, these guys are with us all the way. Who are these guys?" And someone came up with the idea of the Red Tail Angels.
Harold was a hero. Harold will never be forgotten. Harold was a Tuskegee Airman.